Hey everyone, decided to go live today again. So just got from the mosque, and I had an awesome time the other day. I went to church, had an awesome time, good work. That I got from today, it was totally awesome. So it brought me to come and share this with you. Hey, what's up, brother Eddie? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. It brought me today to come and share with you the mystery schools. Um, the mystery schools. What are the mystery schools? I know that a lot of brothers now are into what we call the ancient primitive rites of Memphis, ancient primitive rite of Memphis, Mizram, where you have both male and female in lodges. And then there are those that just strictly deal with the male uh, primitive right side of those mystery schools. And I say mystery schools because they get into a lot of the symbolic teachings that you don't usually get in the previous degrees of the whether it be the ancient accepted Scottish Rite or whether it be York Rite or your first 3 degrees in Freemasonry. A lot of the esoteric or esoteric teachings that one may get, they get when they enter. And when you get to that point of wanting to indulge yourself in that, I would tell a person to be careful. I really would. And I say that because a lot of times what happens is that a person involves themselves into the mystery teachings as far as the esoteric and esoteric side of Freemasonry. They get lost and they're not able to sometimes find their way back. And they get caught up in a side of Freemasonry that I would say that is built for those who want to go deeper into the understanding of Freemasonry. Because Freemasonry, as we know it in the United States, is not necessarily what it is when you leave the country. Freemasonry is so broad with so many different degrees that some of us tend to miss a lot of what Freemasonry has to offer because we only see here in the United States, you only see the first 3 degrees, then you choose to go Scottish Rite or York Rite, your 33rd degree, whether it be honorary or actual active 33rd. So there's a lot in Freemasonry that a lot of us don't see or don't get because, like I said, Masonry is so broad. It's a very unique system. And what happens is that here in the United States, I feel that we practice what you call an American version of Freemasonry and not an ancient version of Freemasonry. And I say that because what happens is we take on the attributes of those who have taught us Freemasonry. And I would say this: once you have taken on those attributes, go and find out what is Freemasonry for yourself. Don't just stop with your lodge or the school of instruction that your lodge may give you or have, but also go and indulge yourself and find other material to read and other books to read. I'm gonna share this with you. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick about some good books, some real good books that would be great to have in your library. And I had them written down. I had them written down. I guess I'm gonna have to look for them again because I don't see them. Oh, okay. All right. So here's some good books I would say a brother can start off with that are pretty good. I would say The Craft and the Symbols. Quite sure a lot of you already have that one. The Builders, a story of study of Freemasonry. Then you have The Newly Made Mason, an introduction to Freemasonry. What Masons, what Masonry means. Uh, Pocket history of Freemasonry. That's pretty good. Great teachings of Masonry. Comprehensive view of Freemasonry. Comprehensive view of Freemasonry. Sorry. Those are some good books. If you're an officer, if you're just a beginner, especially if you're a beginner, those are some good books to get for beginners in Freemasonry. And then once you have become comfortable with that, I tell you, another one to get is going to be by Manly P. Hall. If you really want to indulge yourself in Freemasonry onto its what I would call uh, uh, the mystery schools, I would say Manly P. Hall is probably one of the most intellectuals, one of the most famous people for doing that, and he doesn't leave no ground unturned. He really goes deep into it, and I would say that would be my number one person. If you want to get into the esoteric side of Freemasonry, he would be that person because of the many books that he's written and his facts of study in regards to Freemasonry. And I'm gonna share this with you. A mason is not necessarily a member. It is in a broad sense a person who daily tries to live the Masonic life and to strive intelligently in the needs of great Grand Architect. So when you look at that, you're going to ask yourself, Masonry is not necessarily a member of a lodge. And in a broader sense, he is a person who daily tries to live the Masonic life. Okay? And so you're going to ask yourself, so what is the Masonic life? Brotherly love, relief, and truth. I mean, if you're going to try to live that Masonic life, if you're going to try to apply that obligation to your life as a person, as a man, that's going to be it. Hey, what's up? What's up, Brother Terrell? Uh, good. Hey, good. You know, so if you're going to try to live up to being a Mason beyond the lodge, you're going to have to take and apply that daily to your life. And when I say take and apply that, that's the board. It is not that you're going to apply to just a certain group of people, but you're going to apply to those you have found worthy and well qualified, because everybody is not worth your time and energy. People are, everybody just isn't worth your time and energy, because some people will actually drain that out of you. So as a Mason, you have to be aware that you have to take those working tools of that enter apprentice and break that down. Be it time for your family, friends, loved ones, sleep, time for prayer. You're going to have to break that thing down and then be able to distribute your time and your energy to those who are worthy. Because some people just would suck the spirit out of you, and you wonder why you're so tired sometimes. That's because you've been around people who hadn't put anything in you but have taken everything out of you. So when I look at the mystery schools of Freemasonry and the esoteric versus the esoteric side of Freemasonry, I try to take that and find the truth in that. You know, the true Masonic Lodge is a mystery school. Hear me clearly. The true Masonic Lodge is a mystery school. A world of instructions into the mysterious, life of relationship and identity to a spiritual. I say that means that, okay, so you become a Mason, you get initiated, passed, and raised. Now you're all good, but you're not all good because you haven't applied any of that into your daily life. You haven't applied any of that to moving forward and really finding out what Freemasonry is. Because Freemasonry is pretty deep. And a lot of us don't really scratch the surface because we're too busy in other people's business. And then, hey man, you need to be asleep. But a lot of us don't take and apply that part of Freemason, that mystery school teachings, because we feel that since we have been initiated, passed, and raised, it's all good. It is not all good, because Masonry is a lot deeper than that. And a lot of people don't want, they just want to feel good. Lost. And that which is lost is really truth. And when you find your truth, and you will find your truth, the ideal is to say, Eureka, I found it. Now you need to build upon that which you have found, because even when you think that you have had the truth, there's other information that may come out that may have you to rethink. Because at one time, believe it or not, everybody thought slavery was a great thing, but they had to rethink that. So yeah, it was legal. all over the United States. We all know it was legal to have slaves, but as time progressed, you had to rethink that. So even when you think that you have found the truth, that what you were searching for, some other information may come along and make you rethink that. I mean, including myself, I would take myself for example. In my life, whether it be my work or whether it be my daily routine, I've come across things that has helped me to change some of the things that I was once doing. Therefore, what I thought I was doing was right. When I add something to it, it became better for me. It helped me to become a better person all across the board. So the mystery schools of Freemasonry does that. The esoteric side of Freemason does that. The what happens when you think about it, the reason a lot of people don't get involved with the esoteric Freemason because they find it's a spooky thing to them. Ooh, it's spooky. It is not spooky. The Messiah himself taught in public, but he taught in public esoteric. But when he became privately, when he moved from the public and went amongst the disciples as a group, it's esoteric. They're different. One, you can generally talk to the public about the symbolism of Freemasonry, and they'll be like, "Wow, that's deep." But when I'm amongst my brother, it gets even deeper than that. So when you think that you are like, yeah, I got this, you really don't have anything because, below the surface, there's always more. The ideal is you don't want to get caught falling down the rabbit hole. Sometimes you have to pause for the cause and understand that what you have came across. So in the mystery schools of Freemasonry, and I say the mystery schools, I'm only talking of two things, esoteric and esoteric. So in the mystery schools of Freemasonry, I would tell anybody, slow it down a little bit and then go. Don't just dive into it. Slow it down a little bit, then go. Because you don't want to get caught up in such you thought you was in. And I tell brothers that because even in my jurisdiction, my Worshipful Master at one time was really pushing that hard. He was pushing it. You have to be able to pour water out, but yet you're putting something back in. You just can't pour all the water out the glass. So as you gradually take something out of a person, you have to be gradually putting something to replace that. And that what you replace has to be better than that what you have taken from that brother. You just can't take something from a person and don't replace it. If you're going to take something from someone, educational wise, spiritual wise, whatever that may be, if you're going to take something from them, you have to make sure that whatever you take from them, you're going to replace it with something better. And when you do that, then it's going to show. That person is going to be able to show that, hey, what you gave me was absolute better. We can debate and go back and forth on a whole lot of stuff, but whatever you take from someone, please remember to replace it with something better. To take something from someone and not replace it leaves that brother in a destitute manner. Destitute manner. This is why sometimes in some of the lodges, they try you on being a destitute. When you're destitute, when you don't have, when you're not a neck and no clothes, you don't have anything, and someone comes along and lends you or give you that helping hand, you was destitute. And many of you know exactly what I'm saying. So you must be able to take that and apply that. Apply that. And I would say mystery schools of Freemasonry, and you're removing and taking out the follies and fables of the world. That's what you're doing. In the mystery schools of Freemasonry, you're taking out the follies and fables of everything. You're removing all of that. There is no Santa Claus. There is no what you call it when you take your tooth out and the fairy tale. There is no fairy tale, okay? Or whatever the doctor comes to put money up on your pillow when you lost your tooth. You remove, there is no Easter bunny. You remove all the fables when you really get deep into Freemasonry. You really remove the Christmas story, you know. You remove all of the fables. You really get down to the to why in the third degree. For most of us who have read it, it tells you the what does it say? It says the legend of Hammond. The legend. Listen to that. The legend of Hammond. And anyone who's a Mason and who's not a Mason can pick that up and read it for themselves. So it's not like I'm giving away anything, stuff you can just go pick up a book and read for yourself. But it's the legend of Hammond. But the legend teaches us a lesson in regards to life. It teaches us about being captured. It teaches us about not you know, that that's what I got out of it. Go ahead, brother. Break it down. Great job. I appreciate it. You know, so that's what it does. So we can debate masonry. We can go into, if you do not apply those things that you say that you love so dearly and you enjoy free, if you don't apply it to your life daily, if you don't take and renew your mind, it is you're just going to be part of a club. You're just part of the boys going out at night on the weekends or whatever. You got your hat on, your jewelry, you're going up in the spot, you know, you flossing. But in masonry, you remove all of the fables, all of the fables. Be it once again Christmas, Easter, all of those fables that tells you something that ain't really happening. You know, and when I say tell you something that ain't happening, that means that it's a lie. You know, we tell our kids all the time, you know, Santa Claus is coming, he's going to bring you some gifts. There's nobody coming to bring you nothing but your mother and your father. Plain and simple. Or maybe your cousins and your aunts. Nobody else is going to bring you anything. Nobody's coming down a chimney. So we have to be able to remove those fables. When you are truly in the mystery schools of Freemasons, you're going to remove all of those fables and look at it and say, okay, here we are. And then you're going to educate yourself on what I would say on those mystery schools, those teachings of Freemasonry. You're going to go in depth on them. You know, the Masonic Brother, you know, they pledge themselves to assist all the temple builders with all the temple builders. You know, I don't care what jurisdiction you're a part of, but when you become a Mason, you pledge yourself to become a temple builder. You pledge yourself to assist another temple builder. You know, that's what you do when you make that obligation. But what happens a lot of times, a lot of them get caught up in the political aspect of Freemasonry. Builders, that is the mystery schools. When I get ready to whisper good counsel in a brother's ear, it's going to be good counsel. I'm not going to tear him down to build him up. I'm going to build him up, period. Because that's what we're supposed to do as Masons. You know, we're working on a temple not made by hands, because if you remember the story of Hiram Abeth, in the Bible it tells you that the temple was so magnificently made and there was no metal used to build this temple. So what temple do you think they're talking about? There's only one temple. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? There's only one temple that is not made by hands. Only one. Everything else is made by hands and metal. So when you think about that, bro, that temple is you. That temple is you. So I'm a temple builder. So when I say I'm a temple builder, that's simply to say that the persons who are around me, those who I know, I'm going to help build them up. I'm going to help strengthen them. I'm one of their, I should be a pillar in their life. Whether I should be a right or a left pillar, you know, doesn't really matter. But I should be a pillar in such a way. I should be able to bring beauty and strength into their life. I should be able to lift them up, hold them up. No, but to take that away from them and not assist and aid a brother along his journey and to really teach him about Freemasonry In the mystery schools, esoteric side of Freemasonry, I'm leaving them hanging. I'm leaving them. The capstone is not on top of the pyramid. It's not. You know, you're missing the capstone. If someone in your jurisdiction, your lodge, wherever you may be at, and you're not getting the necessary teachings and instructions in regards to Freemasonry, you're missing Masonry. And I do know, because I've been in some of the Masonic lodges where they would tell you this is a great organization. And it is. What happens is we allow politics to come in and religion to come in and distort who we are. We allow the foolishness to come in. When I say the foolishness, this is a brother who's in Freemasonry, and he's heard that it's a great fraternal order. He's heard that it helps make good man better man. But what happens is that he gets around other Masons in his jurisdiction and watch them clown another jurisdiction, and then he takes part, or she may even takes part, and then they miss out on what the whole thing is supposed to be about, because they're playing Masonry, they're playing Eastern Star. So even in the Eastern Star, the mystery schools should be taught. The esoteric and the esoteric should be taught. I mean, the Order of the Eastern Star, as you know, has 5 degrees right off the bat versus the Master Mason with 3 degrees. So when you look at that and all of that I'm trying to find a word for it. When you're able to take all of that in, it's deep. And this is why in the earlier days of Freemasonry, wow, you know, now you can't get that, you know, vegetation. Okay, what's up, bro? I appreciate you. Big G, thank you. So now we don't get that anymore. You know, once upon a time, it really meant something to be a Mason. I'm a Mason. And people were like, wow, man, that's deep. That's deep. Now you say I'm a Mason, people looking at you like, yeah, whatever. You know, but for those of us who are able to really grab hold of Freemasonry, and when I say those of us, that's blanket, that's across the board. That means that you're able to take the working tools of the level, the plumb, the square, the chisel, the mallet. You're able to take those working tools and apply them in such a way to when people see you and have that conversation with you, they're gonna know that, wow, you're a deep brother. What are you a part of? I'm a part of the Freemason. Wow, the Freemasons teach that? Yes, we talk like that. We work with that. Oh, okay. Now it's something that whoever you're talking to, they can look at it from another point. But what we have today in Freemasonry is a lot of people who are coming into the order don't take it serious. They don't take Freemasonry serious. They take Freemasonry as a club. They take it as a social organization. I want a network, social type of thing, and that's cool. I'm not saying you shouldn't network, but it's deeper than that. And it's deeper than that because Freemasonry, in its ability to build up the next person, tells you it's deeper than that. And if you choose to indulge yourself in Freemasonry, you will find that it's deeper than that. That's why we're in search of that which is lost. And you're not going to find it until you're no longer breathing, because you're going to, in all your days, you should be in search of that which is lost. In all your days, you should be lifting up the next man to make him a better man. In all of your days, you should be walking in such a way that people may ask and want to know, what are you a part of that makes you walk differently, makes you stand up straight, makes you look at things from a whole nother point of view? What is it about that fraternity? I mean, granted, I'm looking at it from the point of view of Freemasonry only. Okay, I'm not going to entertain your religion's doctrine or your religious beliefs, but I'm saying as far as Freemasonry is concerned, because if you really look at it, when you are initiated into Freemasonry, it is always asked of you, you know, who do you put your trust in? It is always asked of you that, and that's no secret. That is no secret. So it says of knowing who do you put your trust in, you follow that. You follow that. I don't put my trust in no man. I don't. I will ask you to do something for me. If you do it and complete the job, that's great. It is not necessarily saying I fully, they will. I will fail you. However, in the process of me growing and helping you to grow, I want to make sure that I'm able to complete the task at hand. If you call me up and say, hey, bro, could you do this? It is not that you're putting all of your trust that I'm going to do it. You're asking me to do something for you, and I should try to complete the task. I really should. If I don't, then I'm less than a brother, period. I don't care what jurisdiction you're in. This is for everybody as far as Eastern Stars and Masonry is concerned. Because even as an Eastern Star, when you're representing the most so when the Masons say those things to each other, when we say that, we will look over the child or the wife or lightly, like yada yada, till we miss the mere fact that we have the influence of shaping somebody's life. You do. But we miss that. And that's the thing that gets me sometimes. How could you, as a Mason, allow this opportunity to go by and miss the mere fact that you had the opportunity to shape that young man's life? His father is not alone. His father is gone. But here you are. You got the nice car. You're not a drug dealer. You got a good job. You may own your own business. And you know that this young man needs a role model. But you pass him every day. You don't even speak to him. But he's checking you out. This is that opportunity as a Mason that you should take your working tools and go to that young man and help him, build him up. Because then he may say, wow, who's that Mason? That guy is tight. Wow, I want to be like him one day. But when you don't do those things, you're missing a great opportunity. Be it a sister of the order or be it a brother of the craft. We miss our opportunities when we walk past each other, don't even speak, don't smile. I would think that as a father and husband, as a brother of the craft, it is my duty, I find, that when I walk past a sister, that I speak to her in such a way she's going to know, oh, that's a brother right there. And especially if I know that she's a sister, I think that every Master Mason should be initiated in Eastern Star to be able to have a good and decent conversation with her and stop just trying to run up on her like she's somebody on the street. I think that we all should have that. But what happens is some of us join Freemasonry for the wrong reasons, and some of us become Eastern Stars for the wrong reasons. Now I'm not going to get into grown folks' business because grown folks do what grown folks do. I've said that before. So I'm just saying, but in the process of meeting a sister or meeting a brother, you should be able to have, you as a brother, one of your passwords represents a member of the Eastern Star. And then representing that, you should be able to have a conversation about that without the bar. We don't do it. We can't have that conversation because we don't know how. So I encourage sisters and brothers to have the in-depth conversation about the Order of the Eastern Star. What it is to be an Eastern Star. I find me an Eastern Star and have a conversation with it. What is it to be an Eastern Star? I want to know, because maybe I want to become an Eastern Star if I'm not already one, if you're just a Master Mason. And in the process of becoming an Eastern Star, you would learn about those 5 herons. Those 5 herons. And when you get them, represent everything you see your mother as a man. Those 5 herons to me represent everything my mom is, and my wife is, and my daughter soon will be. Those 5 herons. And if you are a brother, if you are a Muslim in the as a Mason, we know that in the Quran we have those herons also. So you can take those same herons and apply them. You can take those same herons from the Quran and apply them, because even though the OES is founded upon a Christian standards, a Christian belief, you can still take that and apply it to Islam. You can, you really can. The ideal is that most of us don't want to do it because some of us are afraid. You know, some of us are afraid, and you never should really be afraid as a Mason. You should be one who's willing to take the chance to learn and to educate yourself about other things besides that which someone has told you. The greatest thing that people do is put stuff in a book, and we don't want to take the time to go and pick up a good book and read. I'm blessed uh, by God just to be able to save and have books from when I was growing up. Didn't throw them all away. Oh, I don't want that book. Toss it. No, you know. Um, and so we must be able to go. I don't care what, you know, I'm not going to say I don't care, but I would prefer that a brother or sister, when they are in the craft and when they are part of the order, to find good books to read, that's going to enlighten them on the order. It's going to enlighten them on the craft, and then you're going to move from there and you're going to find other books. But whatever you do, don't stop engaging yourself with useful knowledge and taking and applying that useful knowledge. So when you get a little older, you can reflect upon that which you've learned and share that. You don't want to take what you have, educational wise, Masonically speaking, and hold it to yourself, and then people know that you got a lot of knowledge in Freemasonry and the Order of Eastern Star. Now you dead and gone. And all of that what you had, all of that what you thought was great is gone with you. You didn't leave anybody anything. You didn't share any of your information. You didn't share none of your material. You didn't educate anybody. You didn't have a school of instructions. You didn't have a school of mysteries. You didn't do anything to enlighten the next person. And all that you thought that you had was great is gone. It's wasted. And that's the difference when you're talking about a person who's really involved with Freemasonry versus one who calls himself a Freemason. A person who's really involved with Freemasonry is going to be able to share his or her information with you freely, okay? Then the person who just in the fraternal order, because the one that just in, they're not picking up a book and reading nothing. They're too busy debating who died first and all that other stuff, instead of information that's going to enlighten a brother or a sister. And I would say this to my sisters of the Eastern Star: your mystery schools are deep. You know, they actually, when you get into the affiliated departments of the Eastern Star, be it the Herons of Jericho, be it the Lady Knights of Templars, be it the Daughters of Sphinx, let me see, the Amaranths. When you get into those degree works, I'm gonna tell you, and nobody has ever probably told you this, it reverts back to me being a Mason. And I'm gonna tell you this here too: if you are part of the Amaranths, Herons of Jericho, shucks. Oh, there's one more missing. Amaranths, Herons, Jericho. Some star book around. I'll tell you what I was. Tell you what degree I'm talking about. Those appending bodies, man, it's just like being a Mason all over again. It really, really is. If you are a Mason and you sit as a patron in any of those departments I've just named, and I'm missing a few, it reminds me of being a Mason, because all of their signs, yes, the Lady Knights Templar is one. You have the Amaranths. You have the Herons of Jericho. I'm missing one more. The Daughters of Sphinx. And there's one. All of those grips, all of those signs are very similar to those of the Masons in the appending bodies. They are. And nobody's never really told you that, but I'm telling you that because they are. In other words, how could we even relate as Master Mason relate to a sister who's an Eastern Star if there's no similarities, if there's nothing to bring you together? You know, yes, I've seen this star in the East, yes. However, in finding that star in the East, I'm looking at the what? Masonic pavement. You know, the blazing star. See, all of that, brothers and sisters, comes together. But you have to be able to solve the mystery. That's why they call it the mystery schools. You have to be able to take it and apply it and solve it. Because you're in search of that which was lost, which is truth. But as I said earlier, if someone has my glass of water over here and you're pouring it out and you're not putting anything back in it, I'm going to become very thirsty and angry. But if you're pouring my water out and adding something into it, that may, that may calm me down. Because I'm not going to be thirsty when all of my water is pouring out because I have more water. You know, if you can take that analogy and apply it, and that's the thing we have to look at. I mean, because if we don't, we have truly missed a blessing. We have truly missed what this whole thing is all about. So, if you want to chime in, you're certainly welcome to do so. I appreciate it. And and as you do that, I'm going to share some other stuff with you too. I'm going to share some other stuff with you. You know, I don't want to step on nobody's toes today. So, I'm going to read this to you. It says, Masonry is a structure built upon the experience. Each stone is a step in the unfolding of intelligence. The shrine of Masonry are the ornaments by the jewels of 1,000 ages. Its ritual rings with the words of enlightenment, seen with the illumination of stages, of ages. 100 religions have brought their gifts of wisdom to its altar. Now, that's deep. Think about this. I'm gonna read this one more time because some may not get it. It says Masonry is a structure built upon experiences. Each stone is a step in the unfolding of intelligence. The shrine of Masonry are the ornaments by the jewels of 1,000 ages. Its ritual rings with the words of enlightenment, seen in the illumination of ages. 100 religions have brought, because Mason regards no man for their religious beliefs. That's why I can say that 100 religions have come to his altar, because that's what you do. That's what you believe in. You don't leave it out the door when you become a Mason. You didn't know that. You don't leave what you believe in outside the door when you become a Mason. That is supposed to help you to grow. So if you are a Buddhist, if you are a Catholic, if you are a Jew, if you practice Judaism, if you are a Christian, whether you be Baptist, Protestant, whatever, it's supposed to help you to become better. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to be a better man already. It helps you become, in my own eyes, it helps you to grow. Because you're already a good man. And if you take that which you're supposed to read daily and renew your mind daily with the word, then you are going to become better. You are going to grow. Masonry just helps you to, masonry, in my opinion, it helps you to grow on that. For a simpler word, it helps you to grow on that. You grow with that. If I proclaim and profess that I'm a Christian, and I have the Bible on the altar as a Christian, and I'm doing my obligation, I need to take that Bible and apply it to my life. And this is not to disrespect anyone. If I am a Muslim and I have my obligation upon the Quran, I'm supposed to take that Quran and apply it to my daily life. And there's no disrespect to my Christian brothers. If I am a Catholic and I may have the Catholic Bible, and they do have a Catholic Bible, then I'm going to take that and apply it, and it's going to help me to become a better man. Instead of just saying, oh, Masonry doesn't. Masonry doesn't do that. It assists you along the way, but it doesn't do it necessarily by itself. And that's what we have to look at. And this is where the mystery teachings comes in. I mean, the Bible has plenty of mysteries in there. You know, the Quran has plenty of mysteries in it. The Catholic Bible has plenty of mysteries in it. The Buddhist book of life has plenty of mysteries in it. So does the Book of Dead. A lot of books have plenty of mysteries in them. So what we do as Masons, we go in search of that which is lost. So if I'm a Buddhist and I'm in search of that which is lost, I'm going to really indulge myself in that. I'm a Christian. I'm going to indulge myself in that. I'm not just going to sit idly by and just because I've taken the obligation, I'm good. No, I'm not good. I need to take it and apply it. Live by it. Work on it daily. Renew my mind with useful knowledge. You know? You glad I spoke on the Book of Dead, bro. Oh, yeah, man. You know, you got... Look. Tell me... And tell me, what were they reading before they had the Old and New Testament? Well, the Old Testament. What books were they reading? And where did they get their information from? And tell me this, those of you who are Christians. When they was going to stone this lady for committing adultery, and they didn't bring her husband up on it, they was going to do her in. And the Messiah stooped down and he wrote in the dirt. What did he write in the dirt that was so disturbing that each one of them had to write had dropped their rocks, their stone? What did he write? And you have to realize there was something mysteriously that he wrote. And I will tell you this: where did Christ go during those missing years in his life? We speak of his life, but there's some missing parts. You know, there are plenty of good books out there. Honestly, I got a book right here. I got this book right here, man. This book right here, The Mystical Life of Jesus. This book is like, it had me rethinking a whole lot of stuff. And I say that because it pointed me in a direction that I didn't, I was not expecting to go. And like I said, oh yeah. Well, so what do you think about it, Brother Goldsberry? What do you think about this book? I'm just saying, because it took me places, and I was talking about the white light and all that, and I was like, wow, this is deep. But I thought it was kind of racist at first, but as I began to indulge and ask questions to some of my other brothers in the lodge, and they was like, white light. What's up, bruh? Got to, oh, okay. You gotta read the book. You gonna go buy the book and you can read it. Come on, bruh, go. Man, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. But yeah, this book right here, like I said, it's a deep book. Mystical Life of Jesus. It's a deep book. Because to me, what the book does is answer some of the question about what took place while he was absent, when he went into the wilderness those 40 days, and that missing part of his life that we only speak about the last 3 years of his life, age of 33, right? We want to speak about those last 3 years, and some of his childhood is mentioned, but that's about it. So to those missing years. Now, I have a book that speaks about the mere fact of the Messiah going and being initiated into various rites. The priesthood. Yes, the priesthood has an initiation. Sure does. Um, it talks about being initiated into the uh, it's a figure in the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar talks about that. It, 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 ugh, it escapes me. God dang it. I tell you what. Some of the brothers, if you have ever seen, there you go, Mel. Yeah. Let me see. Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, yeah. I'm mispronouncing the word, but bruh, yeah, you said it. I'm sorry, man. I'm tearing that word up. Oh my God, I'm butchering that word. It's just not coming out right. But yes, I appreciate you posting that. Yes. So some of you may see the compass and square, and some brothers have an M in it. Okay, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. You know, that's just another form of Freemasonry that some of us hadn't indulged ourselves in, and some may say, "Oh man, that's bogus, that's crazy, blah blah blah." But I would tell you this because I know for myself, and I want you to know also by going and finding out. There are so many different rites in Freemasonry, you wouldn't believe it. And I'm gonna share this. There's a snake degree. Yes, a snake degree. And I say that because I've talked to brothers who've been initiated. You know, and some say it's a club. Oh, it's a club, but you're doing degree work. You know, so there are so many different appending bodies or degrees within the framework of Freemasonry, outside of the system that we practice in Freemasonry is Ra and the square. Yes, there you go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So there's just so many different rites within Freemasonry until until we don't even, you know, we don't even really accept it because we've all been taught you got your York Rite and your Scottish Rite, and that's it. And you got your 33rd, and you got your Shriners. That's all we've been taught. Melchizedek. There you go. Melchizedek also wrote the book of Malachi. Oh, there you go. Thank you. I was beating that word up. Um, so we have to be able to take that, man, and look outside of where we're at, you know, here in the United States, because Masonry is so broad, you know, so we only get bits and pieces, because if you go to other countries, you're going to find out in regards to Masonry that what they do is not necessarily what you do. That is why it's so important to travel. That is why it's so important to go visit different lodges. Even here in the United States, everybody is not doing the same thing the same way. It's very similar, but it's not definitely identical. Every jurisdiction and their lodges should be doing things identical. So when you leave your jurisdiction and go to somebody else's jurisdiction, it's going to be a little different than what you may do. You know, the Bible, when you're so used to having it open that. I had that personal experience. So with all of that being said and all of that's taken in, you got to realize that, hey, I just can no longer just sit idly by and be happy and say I'm good and have not yet really experienced Masonry as far as getting out of my own bubble, getting out of my jurisdiction. We have to get out of that. And the only way we're going to do that is when we travel. And if you're not traveling and visiting other jurisdictions and other lodges, it's just my opinion on it. You're missing the fellowship of Freemasonry. This is why it's important that when people, brothers, sisters, when they do the various conferences and things like that, go. If it's an open conference and you want to learn and you want to see, go. You know, I mean, just like the one coming up in July, this month in 15 days, in 12 days, 11 days, I'm going to be in Chicago. I'm going to be enjoying the brothers there, the nobles. I'm going to be enjoying them. Some I've never seen, some I have. And that is the uniqueness. That is the greatness of the fraternal order as a whole. Because it helps to bring men together who wouldn't necessarily have met except through this great fraternal order of Freemasonry. Be it black, white, Filipino, Mexicans, across the board. Because being here in Southern California, I've met a lot of Filipino brothers. I've met a lot of Hispanic brothers. I've, yeah, man. African brothers from Somalia, you know? And masonry is a beautiful thing. So we just can't sit idle by and allow this thing that we enjoy so much to go to waste because we was too lazy to get up, to go visit, to see how our how brothers are doing, you know. And that's another thing. So you're going to take the mystery teachings of Freemasonry and you're going to apply it. You're going to take your working tools and apply it. But there are some of our older brothers who haven't experienced those things of the mystery teachings because they found it was taboo. You know, no, I'm not going to talk about that. No. And what happens is in that lodge, it becomes stagnated. Hey, brother Amwa. No, brother, I'm not forcing you down the rabbit's hole. Don't do that. You in my lodge. Don't you do that. I told you, don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. I help you along the way, but no, don't go down the rabbit's hole. Don't do it. I help you, but don't go down the rabbit's hole. So, this is why it is very important to keep communications open with your brothers in your lodge. It is and I say that because we never know what the next person is going through. We don't. And a lot of us are experiencing things in our daily lives that we don't usually share with other people. This is why, as a Mason, in our obligation, you know, we know what we said we would do and would not do. That is so important, you know, to be able to take that and apply that. You know, if I know I have a brother that's sick, I should go and visit him. I should give him a call. If I know I got a brother who's just going through some things in life, I should be able to give him a listening ear. If I know that's a brother that wants to get something off his chest and give it to me so I can hold it, I should be able to keep it in my heart, right? And I should always remember to keep that brother in my prayer when I'm on my knees. That's it, bruh. And I should never really put myself in harm's way of risking my life to save his unless this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. But because a lot of us don't take those things to heart. We don't. Oh, I'm a Mason. You know, I took that obligation. I'm good to go. No. Do you realize what you said? Your word speaks volumes, brothers and sisters. When you take that obligation as a sister and you said, with my purse I would go. I wouldn't talk bad, ill about a sister. What? But you know how some of us get. You know, that sister right there, you know, she just needs to slow down. You know, she's doing too much. No. Once you go to that sister, hey, look, sis, I'm just going to share this with you. You know what? Slow it down a little bit. I love the way you do that. Just taper it down a little bit. You good. Let me give you a hug. And leave it at that. Once you have given her that advice and she doesn't take it, leave it alone. Let it go. You done your job. The same thing goes for a brother. If you see a brother and he's in such a manner and he's acting in such a manner to you have to question whether he's a Mason or not, but you know that he is. When you go to him and approach him in such a way to say, hey, bro, you know what? You know, taper that back. You've done your job. Leave it alone. Walk away. Let grown folks do what grown folks do. Let them go. And then hopefully tomorrow, when he or she becomes sober or be in a better place, they will realize that, damn, you know, I sure didn't act right. No, you didn't. I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. You did your part. And this is what Masonry in the Order of the Eastern Star, in my own personal opinion, from my own experience, tells me where we should be at with each other. We should not be breaking each other down as the common person does. We should be lifting each other up. And that is the difference and unique difference in. And I've said this story on more than one occasion. When I was in Washington, D.C. and I was visiting, and the brother told me the difference between my lodge and his. You know, and I was like, and after he told me and broke it down to me, it made Since this is why, even for myself, I've toned back, I've cut back, and I have to look at things from another perspective. I have to. As much as I'm pro black, look, brothers, much as I want to lift us up, hold us up, I want to do those things. If you will weigh me down, I'm gonna cut you loose. Especially if you ain't trying to hold up nothing yourself. Especially, you know. And this is what I enjoyed about the conversation I had with the brother in Washington. You know, when he broke things down to me, I listened attentively to what he was saying. His lodge and your lodge. Is that who's in it? That was the difference. And I had to think that. I was like, well, what do you mean who's in it? Well, let me tell you about my lodge. And he did. And I said, well, that's because you were in Washington that you would have these people of these particular individuals would be in your lodge. And he was like, yeah, you know, but who's in yours? And don't just say because I'm in California that they can't be in my lodge. The ideal is I have to be able to apply, I have to put my lodge in a position to where those individuals would see my lodge. Hear me clearly. You need to put your lodge in a position to where those people that you're trying to attract will see your lodge. Beyond your community, I know we always talk about community. That's great, but beyond your community, people needs to see your who's in it is going to make a difference. You know, your lodge may want to go out and make donations to a store. I ain't just talking about clothing donations. I mean, make under that store. If you know of a black business in your community where you're at, be it black or white, pick a business. Go in and say, you know what? We see what you're doing. We want to say appreciate your donations to our cause. Here's this plaque from Aries Lodge number 4. Here's a plaque from Faith Lodge number 11. Here's a plaque from Shepherd Lodge number 10. Here's a plaque from Pavilion Lodge number 12. Here's a plaque from Hosea Lodge number 7. We want to be able to patronize that business. So when other people go in, they will see, well, you guys got a plaque from Aries Lodge number 4? Yes, they appreciated us for the work we would. It doesn't cost you anything. What, $34? And you're going to present this plaque to a business that's in your community? Or you may go outside your community and do the same thing. People would then realize, hey, they're working up under such and such. That's that lodge. That lodge is part of that grand lodge. That's how that works. And so when I was able to take that and bring it in and put it together, that is something now that I'm working on for my lodge. Just a little bit to share with you. You know, just a little bit. So look, I've been on this thing for now 60 minutes. And I hope who's ever watching that you got something out of it. From the mystery schools, I want to tell you to indulge yourself in that. But if you haven't been initiated, passed and raised, I would say don't do that to yourself right now. If you have not been initiated a Mason, passed or raised, even the Eastern Star, if you are a sister who's looking to become an Eastern Star, you know, if you haven't yet taken an obligation, I would say don't indulge yourself in the mystery schools or those hidden mysteries of the Order of the Eastern Star yet, because it would mess you up. I'm just sharing it to those who have, you know, and I would hope that they themselves will go and indulge themselves and look at what that they say they would do and would not do. Look at their degree work. Beautiful, you know, the amaranth is beautiful. It all ties in. It ties right back into the Masons. Your signs are so similar to what we do, it is just unreal. All of it. The grips, the signs, all of it is so intertwined until when you get into those degree works, it's beautiful. You be like, oh, now I got it. I understand it. And that is the mystery teachings of the craft of the order, to where we're able to come together and do what we do. Help good men become better men. Lift. As always, until we meet again, until we cross paths, I want to say definitely stay out them bushes and keep your light on. And I'm feeling a lot better here, bruh. This weekend coming, tomorrow, we are going to lay rest the larger sorrow of our beloved past Grandmaster Michael P. McCully. And on Tuesday, we're going to do the graveside ceremonies. And after that, I hope I will be able to recover. I feel better now. Um, Man, life is short. Enjoy your brothers, enjoy your sisters, and do good by them. Do good by them. So, I didn't see anybody post any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and tag off. But if you have a question, let me know. Let me know if you have a question. I'm going to hang around just for a couple of minutes here and see if I can find something else to here to share with you. I'm going to have to read that later. That's deep. But anyway, so look, everybody, have a blessed and great weekend, and get rid of the fables and fairy tales. Stay out them bushes and keep your light on. I'm out.